All right. Now on to the most beautifulest thing in this world, and it's just like that. The Undergods album that had Keith and Canibus with Eric Sermon producing the whole thing and you executive producing. There was
He didn't produce the whole thing. Him and I were the executive producers, but the album had an amazing producer lineup. Eric Sermon. I don't remember if Pete Rock was on there or not. The Beat Miners, Amadeus from the Hitmen, Jake One, God's Wrath, like Beat Butcher, God's Wrath. It was crazy. Crazy album. And the label like rolled out the fucking red carpet for us. We could have done anything, but here these two fucking jamokes are fucking off the bag again.
Right. There was an altercation involving Keith and Canibus at the album announcement party where Keith messed up the backing vocals for Canibus songs while Canibus was performing. Canibus yells at Keith and throws the microphone at him, but it hits the engineer.
This I don't know if I want to correct it unless I heard it wrong. This was the like album announcement party.
Yeah,
so we haven't made the album yet. So Canibus is doing a Canibus set. Keith Murray's doing a Keith Murray set.
Right.
Like we just signed with this label and we're throwing a show.
So what is your reaction when you see this happen, that Keith is at the boards messing up the audio and then Canibus gets pissed off and throws the mic?
I'm like, here are two grown ass kids. Like, literally, you're doing your job. You're performing live for fans. It doesn't matter if there's 50 people there, 500, whatever it is. They could, I don't know. It pissed me off, to be honest. It wasn't Canibus's fault. It's Keith's fault. But Keith's being a fucking drunk jackass. Like, he went up to the soundboard and was like dropping out the backing track and fucking with all the shit. And, I don't blame Canibus for reacting the way he did. But, just grown-ass children, bro.
You had to convince the engineer to not press charges or sue, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the venue wanted to definitely recoup, like, broken mic fees and damaged sound equipment fees and shit like that. But I had a very long-standing relationship with the venue where I would pay to bring the talent there. They would keep the bar, and then, like, I'd get a split and shit. So, like, it was a good thing. Luckily, we were able to move on from that. But Keith wouldn't play that shit with Redman. Keith wouldn't do that to Eric Sermon. Like, you do shit to people you feel like you can, like, get over on and, like, big bro them.
Kind of like bully tactics.
Canibus and Keith are supposed to be peers.
Right. So you guys recorded that album in an expensive, crazy studio in Washington. Everyone got $20,000 advances. You had great features on the album from Crooked, Planet Asia, Tech Nine, the Beat Miners, like you said. Then there's the situation where Keith chases you around the studio, threatening your life. What happened?
Second morning. So this is a castle. It's called Robert Lang Studios. It is literally top 5 studios in America. Dave Matthews Band, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Nirvana. Like, you can, in their B room, you can literally record on the mic that Kurt Cobain did his last ever song on. Like, they didn't immortalize the mic. You can record on it. They have the SL board there from the Chronic and Thriller. So it's half studio, half living quarters, and there's people tending to your every need. They'll make all your meals. They'll go run and get you whatever you want. Keith wakes up and goes from the castle side of things to the studio side. And I call, his name was Noah. And I'm like, dude, Keith's like fucking with the session. What time does the engineer get here? He's like, not for another like hour or two. Like, don't let him fuck anything off. This is like, the label paid for the shit already. Paid for us to be there. Paid Eric Sermon the whole 9. So it's like, I don't know what Keith's doing. But he's not we have like a 10-time Grammy Award winning fucking like engineer recording and mixing the album and shit. So as soon as he gets up to like just pace around the room, I walked over to the computer and hit don't save. Then I went and sat back down and he walked back over. He's like, what the fuck did you do? And it was like chasing me around the fucking studio. I'm running. I'm fucking.
Why?
Yeah.
Why are you running though? Why didn't you just punch him?
I know Keith Murray stories that even I won't say in public interviews.
Wow.
Because I know Keith Murray. And I mean, I'll tell you, like, if you look in the book, every time when I worked with Keith, dude, it was always something like, we're on the road and this chick says he raped her. We're on the road and this dude wants to fucking press charges for assault and battery. We're on the road and he's stealing from this store. So it's always some just dumb knucklehead shit. But I know shit that, yeah.
Wow.
I'm cool. I'm taking off from fucking Murray. All right. So I run to the fucking the housing side of the castle. I lock myself in a bathroom, dude.
No, but he grabs a knife first, though, right?
Yeah.
And then he starts chasing you.
Knife grabbing is a big theme of my book. That happened with 60 Second Assassin. That happened with Keith Murray. You know, maybe I should hide all the knife.
Right.
You know what's funny? I did a show. I produced a Rakim and Planet Asia show recently, and the security was really laxed. And there was a lot of people just kind of making their way backstage that weren't supposed to be backstage. First thing I did was go to the kitchen and grab like the biggest knife they had, and I'm just fucking. I was wearing this exact outfit actually. I just had that shit ready. Like, you have to go through the metal detectors and shit, but not when you're backstage. I'm like, you know, this could go wrong. That was good. But no, I fucking sat in that bathroom for like an hour at least, maybe 2 hours. Until he was like banging on the door trying to kick the shit down for like a half hour. Then it's like he left, and then I called Noah or Ken, Noah's partner, and they're like, dude, everyone's in the studio, like you can go down there. And I went down there and it's like he clearly like got off of his fucking whatever high he was on and was just working again. But they, you know, the label thanked me, like we don't know what he would have done. But imagine he ruins one of $1,400 a day for the recording, then to live in the studio is a whole other show, the castle's a whole other shit. You know, they're just like, thank you for protecting our investment. And I'm always going to do that when I'm working with artists and it's a label that I don't look at just as like, you know, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, thanks for the check. Like if you're a reputable label and I see something in you, I want to nurture that relationship however I can so I can push as many records through as possible. You can, like, record deals aren't just handed out anymore. I have a lot of artists that are like, oh man, like my new shit's so hot. But it's like, do you have a fan base? Do you have the requisite monthly listener count on Spotify that labels consider first and foremost? What's your social media numbers? What's the analytics like? So every artist wants to bypass the necessities of actually landing a record deal just to say they got a record deal. And therefore it's never going to work out for you because again, you're literally bypassing the foundation of becoming a successful artist.
Did you guys have a conversation after that? Like to squash it? No.
It's like it didn't happen.
Wow.
Then Canibus wanted to fight me the next day. I don't know if I put that in the book. Maybe I did.
No, I don't think you did.
I got a Breitling. Like I took some of my money and went and bought a fucking Breitling with the diamond bezel and shit. He's like, that's a nice, in front of his girl, the one from the nudes. That's a nice watch. Maybe I'd like to have that watch. And I'm like, you should go buy that watch. Because I did. You know, like just shit talking back and like, bro, you're not about to fucking, we're in a castle. You think you're going to strong on me for my watch? Your kid's like 10 feet away. We got dudes cooking us fucking eggs Florentine and shit. Okay, buddy, sure thing.
You said the chemistry.
So Keith Murray was definitely rubbing off on Canibus.
You said the chemistry between Canibus and Keith was terrible. And like another confrontation happens where Canibus has to go home because of a family emergency. And Keith got in Canibus's face and said he had more money than him, was a better artist, and threw money in Canibus's face.
A limo. The label called a limo to pick up Canibus. It was very cool. It was nice of them. You know, this is pre-Uber. And Keith just being a fucking tool, bro. Gets up in Canibus's face, throws like $8 and ones at him. I got more money than you. You're literally in the same place, getting paid the exact same. Like, you know, I literally knew at that moment this whole shit was going to go bad.
What was Canibus's reaction? Why didn't he like beat him up or anything?
I don't remember the exact specifics, but it was something really important with a member of his family. So he let Keith just act a jackass and Biss maintained his cool. Mm-hmm. Thank God. Got in the limo and took off. Came back the next day or whatever, or 2 days later, who knows?
So then there's a whole bunch of incidents where like opportunities are being ruined left and right. Like Keith is being like a jackass to BET staff and stuff like that, right? In one situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude.
And then Canibus has this like outburst with DJ Green Lantern or something like that.
Yeah, that was like a couple months later. One of my favorite Keith Murray stories, I don't remember if I put this in the book or not. When we did that signing party the concert. So this is before the show. I'm in the lobby of the hotel at the little conference tables and shit, meeting with the VP, going over the terms of the contract and shit. And the manager of the hotel knocks on Keith's door. Keith answers the door. He's naked and he's smoking a joint. And they're like, yeah, we smell smoke in the room. And Keith's like, what's the smoking fee? And the guy's like, $200. He's like, hold on. He grabs $200 bills and throws them. He's like, leave me the fuck alone. I was like, that's the funniest I've ever seen. And they didn't kick him out. Like, they let it slide.
So what happened with Canibus and DJ Green Lantern?
Canibus just being Canibus, dude. It's fucking DJ Green Lantern, bro. Like, and I'm sure if Canibus is, it'd be like, but I'm Canibus. But it's DJ Green Lantern, okay? This is a Shade 45 station, if I'm not mistaken. It was either Hip Hop Nation or Shade 45. So it's part of that network. And at the time, satellite radio is kind of new. And it's like, imagine going on Sway in the morning and not freestyling. Like, that's literally part of it. So Green Lantern, all right, kick something. You can rap anything you fucking want. You're a rapper. We are promoting a brand new rap album. But no, you got to turn into Jamaican Canibus and be like, you can't invade me, though. I don't rap because you tell me to rap. Like, God damn it. That was it. That was it, dude. Like, the labels, like pulled the marketing budget after that. Like, fuck this. We got these guys traveling all over the fucking place. They had stylists, dude. Like, that's how much money there was to make this record. Look at stylists, and they're getting picked up in limos and get the fuck out of here.
All right. You said Keith was stealing like clothes or something like that, right?
That was when we were on tour.
That's crazy.